Hello everybody. Okay, so this is the beginning of my second album for 2014. And so if you've been watching my catch-up videos for Project Life, you'll see that this somewhat looks similar to the end of my last album. And that's just because I reused, well, just one of the photos, but I kind of went with similar colors as well, just because I wanted it to kind of go with the last week of my last album. So this here, I believe it's the Scraptastic has the rounded corners, and my Studio Calico have straight corners. It's really hard for me to let you know like what most of the cards and embellishments came from, because I've been keeping up with these pretty much weekly or bi-weekly. I just hadn't had a chance to share them. So that's what I'm kind of catching up on now. So I use this polka dot card to as my title card for week 25. The W, the K, and the 25, those are rub-ons. The June is actually a wood veneer, and I just colored it with a black Copic marker to kind of make it really stand out. And then I dated up here, so this is June 16th to the 24th, and this camera was from the Scraptastic kit paper, and I just had a little piece left over, so I cut the camera from that and just stuck it there. And then here is a photo of my daughter the last day of 6th grade, and she had her moving up celebration, and so I wanted to document about that. So I put moving up here with those rub-ons, and then I put 7th grade because she's in 7th grade now, but that she was moving up to 7th grade here, and her friend had gotten her some flowers, so I thought that was really neat, and I wanted to make sure and document that. And so here I am documenting that this is the second album of 2014, and I'm just kind of explaining that, so in case anybody comes into this album at the beginning, they'll know that there's, an album that's before this. And I just added some of the wood veneer that came from the Scraptastic kit, and I just stapled them on with my tiny attacher, and that does work really, really well. I've never had a problem with using staples with my wood veneers yet. So this card, I believe, actually came out of one of, I'm not positive. I think that this came out of, yes, okay, I'm not going to say yes. I don't know. It already had this awesome. So here's a photo I took of my husband's, he made this, what's that called? Like a grate to go over the fire pit so he could cook his chicken and ribs on there. And I added a little star-shaped enamel dot there, and some vellum that I had in my scraps here I stapled on. And I was just journaling about how we were having spicy honey glazed chicken and ribs, and they were so good. And so I wanted to make sure and document those. So that's one of the things we really love to do, is cook outside in the summertime, because we don't get much of a summer where I live. We get a lot of rain and stuff. So this card, I want to say, came out of the Scraptastic kit. I'm pretty sure. So I just added, I really love the look of craft with black and white. I just think it's really cute, especially when you add pops of color. So I love this filler card. It is so cute. So I just added a strip of black and white diagonal paper, added a heart-shaped enamel dot here, and then 3 more little enamel dots there. And here I am documenting what my 6-year-old had gotten for her birthday from Grandma. I don't know why I'm documenting it so late. This is June. We must have gotten it kind of late. I know that she ordered this, I think, from Avon. And so it was a little Hello Kitty watch. And so I think she got it about a week or 2 late. Here is one of the photos that I took of all of the children on the same day as the last day of school for these two and my son. My son wasn't in the photo because he was too busy riding his bike. So, and that's what I journaled about right here. He had gone to his friend's house. I knew he was out riding his bike though. So on this one here, I used one of the cork arrows that has this kind of circular end here, and I really like that for adding embellishments too. So I added a little heart-shaped enamel dot there, And then here I am journaling about what my daughter had also gotten from her for her birthday money. I believe she got that from her grandpa. And so she went and got a Doc McStuffins bag. And I didn't journal that she had gotten that from grandpa though. But anyways, so here is week 26. I'm just going to go ahead and share that as well because I only had one 12 by 12 for week 25. So week 26, my husband and I went to the Sand and Sawdust Festival. And I just wrote on here June 25th to July 1st. I believe I just used a Sharpie or my Slick Writer to put that on here. And it's really, really cool. I actually used an app. I want to say it was like Aviary on my iPod to put the word Sand and Sawdust Festival. And that is actually a photo that I took while I was out at the Sand and Sawdust Festival out at our beach. And this is one of the sand castles that somebody had made. And it was really, really neat. So I took a photo of that. That was my favorite one. And it was also a sawdust festival. So I took a photo of this salmon carving that somebody had made, and it was really, really neat. And so I put number one fave because this was my husband's favorite one there. And then we went into like our community center or whatever and kind of walked around and checked things out in there. And as we were going out the door, there was a huge wooden clam statue there. And so my husband stood next to it because he loves to go clam digging. And so I put Clam Bam, which is what my son would say for the longest time. He'd say, we're going clam bamming, because he would think that we went hunting, and so like clam hunting. And so when my son would say hunting, he would say bamming instead of, like shooting a gun or something. I don't know, when he was little. So he'd say, we're going clam banning, like clam hunting. And so that was just kind of funny. And I used the Scraptastic alphas, and I used StazOn ink with that, and it did okay. I'm not very good at stamping on photos. It slid a little bit, but it still worked, and it's dry and it's legible, so that's good. So that was kind of funny. And here is one of the cards that came in. I'm not gonna name most of them unless I'm positive. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. I really want to say Scraptastic, but I'm not positive. Okay, so it already had these kind of wonky circles, and I just added a flare badge that had the arrow here, just to kind of draw your eye over here, I guess. And this is where I just did some of my journaling about going on this date with my husband, and it's just this weekend date. And this is only about 20 minutes from where I live anyway, so it wasn't like a huge weekend date or anything, but we just went out for the day. But it was a fun weekend. So I was talking about how we went to lunch, which was terrible. Ugh, we'll never go back there again. I do remember that. So this card, I really thought it was really neat. It said should, could, would, did, and that's all it had on it. I added this little scrap piece of paper that had polka dots, kind of like a photo corner up here. I put a sequins in each of the O's here, matching the color of the word, and then I put an arrow to did because we did. And then here is another one of the sandcastles, and I wanted to document this one because this is outside of where I worked, or where I work still. And this is the one that some of the people that I worked with had done. So I did that. Whoops, sorry, I'm jiggling the camera. And it's just a photo of a dragon, I believe on like an egg or something. And back here is kind of advertisement for some new slots that we had gotten at the casino. And so I wanted to document that. And so I just used a scrap piece of paper here, one of the little tabs here, and I stapled it on with my tiny attacher, and then I added 2 sequins there. Here I am just journaling about the sandcastle here, and then also some of our sandcastles that we really enjoyed looking at. Here was another one. This one was down by the beach again. Where I work and down by the beach, where most of this stuff was going on, there is about a 5-minute difference. So we actually had to drive for this one. This one's like an old truck. It's really cool. So I took a photo of that one, and I cut this out of a Scraptastic kit that I got and added the camera there, and as well as a little tab there. So I really love, this is my favorite card. I love that. I love how these all turned out here, and then it's going to go like this. So now I'm going to share this side. So this card here, all it had was a bunch of ampersands down on the bottom. So I used one of the ampersands that came in one of the kits, and I colored it green with a Copic, and I put sun fun, so sun and fun, kind of talking about how the weather is getting better. I love that. So I took a screenshot because we had 88-degree weather. It was really nice. We were super excited. So I put 2 little yellow enamel dots to kind of, represent nice, warm, sunny weather. And then used this banner that said summer is here. And then took a photo of my daughter who was sitting out by the fence because we have a really tall fence, and so she could get good shade there. We were all outside, and she was reading her book in the shade and eating a popsicle. So I took a photo of her and put it on this little label here, and I put it on an enamel dot in the camera. And then this is all kind of a funny story. This all goes together here. And I'll tell you the story because that's more interesting than what's going on anyway, right? So this card is exactly how it was. I just added this little photo of my daughter playing. This is my youngest daughter, who had just turned 4. Or she's not 4 yet in this photo. But she's playing in this pool, and we filled it up. When I fill up the pool for the little ones, especially like this, because it doesn't sit out, I like to fill it with warm and cold water so it's nice and comfortable. And then I added bubbles so that she would be able to play in the bubbles. So she was having a great time. And then here she took a break and was eating a popsicle, and so I wrote break time and yay and put that there, and then used one of the wood veneers that says let the fun begin, and there's some sequins here. But here's where the story gets kind of funny. So I used this, it just had kind of blocky, almost watercolored look to it. I added some stamping, hearts, wrote Bailey was really mad. So when Bailey came out and saw that there was bubbles in the pool, she did not like that. She was so mad, and she had just turned 6. She did not want anything to do with the pool after she saw that there was bubbles in there. I thought that was really kind of funny. She's just never really been much of a bubble girl. So here I took a photo, such a mean mom, of her sitting at the picnic table, all angry, just so mad, and while Lacey was playing in the pool in the background. So it's so funny. This card was perfect because it had these little arrows here pointing and kind of drawing your eye over to the background. So funny. But I'm not that mean. Within minutes, she was perfectly happy. She was smiling and eating a popsicle. And this was literally minutes later. So it was really, really funny. I wanted to document that. So I didn't ruin her entire day. And she did end up playing, as far as I can remember. She did end up playing in the pool. This card here, I believe I got this idea mainly from, I watched Mercy Tara's, and I remember her doing this where she added some sequins to the centers of these almost like citrusy kind of looking weird circles. They remind me of lemons. So I did the same thing she did, and it just already had this banner that said, "You fill me with sunshine." So funny. I just love that story. And so here's a photo of her all happy, and I just cut it to kind of go along with the line of this here. And because this was already here, kind of like diagonal. And so I cut the photo to kind of go along with that. I wrote happy in the little blank area that was there, and I outlined it, and then I put just some dash lines there. So that is my week 26, and I will be back to share the next layout. Thanks for watching. Bye.